So, welcome back to the Prescription to Travel MD podcast, where we explore all things travel. I'm your host, Dr. Courtney Downes, and we're heading into a new year. So, let me just start by saying that I am truly in awe of the year that has just passed. It was this time last year that I was sitting down and, I was having a conversation with my sister in law and my brother in law. They were here in town, and we were talking about me starting this hypothetical podcast and creating this community to help others learn about using CME and conferences and points and miles to travel and just all the things that I had learned myself and really just wanted to share with others. And we were trying to come up with a name, and I wrote down all these things. And months later, after being heavily encouraged by a couple of friends and people who I really look up to, I decided to just do it. And y'all, this process has been like learning how to do a patient history physical and having to present it for the first time in front of your attending and all the other students standing around. And so yeah, I almost walked away when a girl at work told me just how bad the audio was for my first podcast. And, every time I ran into a snafu, like recording a whole episode with a guest that was completely unusable. But I knew that it was bigger than me and I had a lot to share, and I still do. And so Prescription to Travel kept going. And I'm so happy that we're here, friends. And if you've ever downloaded an episode or if you left a review, if you told a friend about the community or the podcast, or you sent me a referral, or you used one of my credit card referrals, whatever it was, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This truly has been a labor of love for me. And I'm just looking forward to bringing you even more insights into the world of travel opportunities that are available to you, and tips and tricks and just so much more. And today we're actually going to dive into what the coming year has in store for all of you travel lovers. And the top things that I'm looking forward to, from updates in the Points and Miles community to exciting destinations and conferences, there's just a lot to look forward to in 2025. So let's get into it. I'm looking forward to some of the changes that have been hinted at in the world of Points and Miles. Looking forward to potentially being able to pay my mortgage using a credit card. So there are a couple of programs built in Mesa who have hinted at creating a program that will allow you to pay your mortgage and earn points by doing so. And if you're familiar with Built, you may know that they rolled out a program last year that allowed people to pay their rent. And they could do it using credit cards without any additional fees, and they can earn points by doing so. And we've seen programs that allow people to take out mortgages and buy homes and earn points for doing this by using the preferred lender for these programs. And I think many of us who have mortgages, we're not paying rent, we're not buying a new house. We're really just looking forward to getting into the game too and having the option to earn points for something that is a large recurring expense that up until now we haven't been able to. At least we haven't been able to easily and without, the added fees and hoops to jump through. I don't know much about Mesa, who the transfer partners will be and so on, but I know that Built had some fire offers and transfer partners this year. They had American Airlines, which is a reward program, which has been a little bit challenging to earn points unless you have that American Airline card or you fly American Airlines frequently, although this partnership ended. But Built was the card that definitely gave me a lot of FOMO this year. All the details and specifics haven't been released about either of these programs, but I'm definitely going to stay up to date on all the information as it comes out, and I hope you stay tuned and you'll be following and you can keep up with this as well. Other things that I'm looking forward to: new credit card options. So rumor has it that Chase will be releasing a premium business credit card that will be a strong competitor for the Amex Business Platinum card and the Capital One Venture Business card. So I'm a big fan of the Chase business cards. You probably have heard me talk about this nonstop. The Chase Inc. Business Cash Card is one of my favorite cards, mostly because it allows you to get 5 times points at office supply stores. So you can go and you can buy gift cards, which you can then use to make purchases on things that don't earn more than 1 point. And this has been huge for me in terms of being able to consistently earn points. The Inc. business cards are fee-free cards for the most part, with the exception of the preferred card, and it's really a great addition to your wallet. I find that the Chase points are extremely valuable. They're very easy to use, very easy to get started if this is your intro to the Points and Miles world. And almost exclusively have been using my Chase points to book stays at Hyatt hotels. As I mentioned before, Hyatt hotels are bookable at lower points cost when you compare it to some of the other big hotels like Marriott and Hilton. And a lot of the properties are super nice. So, Park Hyatts and some of these amazing places and really nice destinations. And you get a lot of great value out of them. And I expect that this new business card is going to have a significant sign-up bonus for probably a large spend. and hopefully a lot of perks to keep up with offers on its competitors, the Amex Business Platinum and the Capital One Venture X cards. Really looking forward to see what Chase will be bringing early 2025. I got declined for the Southwest Business card, and that kind of dashed away my companion pass dreams for the year. So I'll slow down on Chase for a moment and just kind of see what happens with them this year. Hopefully, by the time a good offer comes up, I'll be back in their good graces. I'm 324, which means that I don't have more than 5 new personal cards in 24 months, which is, if you're not familiar with it, an unspoken rule for applying for Chase cards, where whether business or personal, they won't approve you for any new Chase cards if you have more than that number. I mostly apply for business cards, and so most business cards aren't going to push you over that. So I pretty much stayed under that number, but they're definitely becoming stricter on their criteria for new cards. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the coming year. The other thing that I'm looking forward to is all the upcoming conferences and retreats that are going on in 2025. So I've featured quite a few guests who will be hosting their own retreats and conferences, which all have something different to offer, from travel to Uganda for CME and gorilla trekking, to Miraval, Arizona for women's empowerment, to Oahu for CME, and Morocco and Guatemala. Just so many wonderful things that are happening for 2025. And many of these opportunities are for healthcare professionals and will offer you CME. But there are a lot of these opportunities for non-healthcare professionals. So you got options even if you're not a doctor or dentist or a pharmacist or a nurse practitioner or any of those things. And I'll be keeping you all updated on these events, and we have a newsletter that's coming out soon. So this is designed to keep you all abreast of all the upcoming events and opportunities that you can take advantage of. So the newsletter is something that I've been wanting to put out for a while, because I know that it can be challenging to keep up with all these upcoming events. And sometimes it's nice to get things in, digestible little pieces. So that way you can know what's going on, and then you can plan ahead and take advantage of the opportunities that are out there that right now you don't even know exist. So I'm really excited for the Prescription to Travel MD newsletter. You'll want to sign up for the newsletter so that way, as soon as we're up and running, you have all that information available to you. Stay tuned for that. The link for sign up will be in the show notes. The other thing that I'm looking forward to is a focus on wellness and slow travel in my own life. I think travel really is evolving, and more people are embracing longer stays and fewer destinations, which aligns with the whole wellness movement. I mean, imagine spending 2 weeks in a Tuscan villa, or, immersing yourself in a small Laotian village. If you go back to the episode that I did with Sunny Smith from Empowering Women Physicians, she talks about visiting Greece and many of them being there, for weeks to months at a time, and just living life at a slower pace and having time to really just appreciate all the people and the things around you and not being rushed. And I feel like there should be more emphasis on this type of travel, something that we, I guess, always feel that we don't have time for, because we do, we lead very busy and full lives. And I just want to encourage people to consider the possibility of this being an option for you too. It's something that's available to you if you decide that it's something you want to do. I'm looking forward to a focus on wellness center trips. I really just want to encourage people to take advantage of some of the retreats that are being held, some of the places that focus on wellness, such as, Canyon Ranch and Miraval. One, because you'll get discount rates that you wouldn't get any other time. So it's a great time to try out a place and perhaps get CME credit for it, because you need the CME credit for your board requirements anyway, and potentially being reimbursed or have a tax write-off that's going to save you money in the long run. And have an experience that's just uplifting and empowering and really just give you the reset that you need and transform your life in ways that you didn't even know were possible. I'm looking forward to exploring new places abroad and seeing some of the places that are close by. So this past year, we visited London and Amsterdam and Costa Rica and Mallorca. We went to New Orleans. We took a lot of staycations and weekend getaways. And I'm really looking forward to what's on the horizon for us for the coming year. So Asia, Malaysia, Oahu, the Caribbean, but also venturing around to some of the national parks. So my son's in the 4th grade, and 4th grade is the year that they get the free national parks pass. And, there's so much beauty nearby that we're looking forward to just seeing some of the stuff that's, within driving distance, or, a quick flight. We went glamping a couple years ago at Zion, and it's a trip that my kids still talk about to this day. I won't camp. I'm outdoorsy, but not that outdoorsy. We're give me running water for a shower and a toilet and maybe a cabin or a yurt that I can come back to after being outside in nature. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some of those trips in the coming year. Looking forward to changes happening in the travel world overall. So We've seen that AI has been really big in everything, and I'm looking forward to see how it changes, things like travel planning. So there are already a few apps that I've talked about before, Wanderlog and TripAdvisor, and ChatGPT already does everything for you. I think is going to make trip planning easier than ever, from personalizing your itineraries to optimizing your flight routes, being able to share with the group traveling with you. Looking forward to see where we're going with that. Enhanced airport experiences. So airport lounges are something I've come to appreciate more and more since starting my Points and Miles journey. Just really excited about all the new lounges that we'll likely see popping up from Chase and Capital One. Chase actually had a pop-up lounge here in Las Vegas at Aria as a precursor to the lounge that's coming to McCarran Airport here in town. And I think that the jury is still out on when the Chase lounges will be coming to LAX, which will be huge for me as well, as we have a lot more opportunities for international flights out from LAX than we do here in Las Vegas. And I'll be excited to try some of them out. Chase lounges are also slated to come to Philadelphia, although dates have not been announced for Philadelphia locations as well. So Capital One lounges, currently they have 3 lounges, the Dallas, the Denver, and the Washington, D.C. lounges. And we're also getting a Capital One lounge here in Las Vegas next year. So sometime in 2025, I think there's plans to open one in JFK as well. So I had a chance to check out the one in Dallas in the past year. It's a beautiful lounge. The food was really good. Just super excited to have so many options here in town from my own home airport. In November 2024, so just a few months ago, they opened up the Capital One Landing Lounge in DC, which is a little different from their main lounge. Supposedly, it's offering a more intimate and upscale experience. And it seems like there's another one that's slated to come to LaGuardia in New York as well. I love that Capital One Venture X card allows you to add an authorized user at no additional cost. And then your authorized user gets to come in and bring guests as well. So I think this card is great for groups of more than 5, so that the third child doesn't get neglected and you can still get into the lounge. Capital One has a smaller footprint than Chase and Amex. And I think, at least I hope, that the issue of overcrowding won't be an issue. Amex Platinum Lounge guest access went away because the lounges were overcrowded. And I'm hoping that this doesn't become an issue with Capital One as well, and that they'll have more lounges available over the next few years. But I guess only time will tell. But for now, 2025 is shaping up to be good for Chase and Capital One lounge access. So I think that pretty much wraps up my look at what's on the horizon for travel in 2025 that I'm looking forward to, although I'm sure there's probably a lot of other things that I could have sprinkled in. But from new ways to use points and miles to exciting destinations and trends, I think the year promises to be one that's filled with opportunities to reset, to recharge, and explore. And if you're as excited about these updates as I am, make sure that you're following along on Instagram, Prescription to Travel MD, for more tips and inspiration. And don't forget to join our Facebook group if you're a physician or doctor, dentist, other healthcare professionals, where we discuss upcoming conferences, retreats, and travel hacks. We'll also be sending out a newsletter again with tips and tricks, deals, CME, and so much more directly to your email real soon. So you don't want to miss out. Make sure you sign up. Use the link in the show notes. You'll also find it in my bio on Instagram and on the website, prescriptiontotravelmd.com. Until next time, wishing you happy travels, happy new year. Let's fill 2025 with memories that last a lifetime. Thanks again for listening.